How's it going, guys? And welcome to Gabe's Reef. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a few changes and how things are going. Fortunately for me, all of the Aptasia is gone. Joe's juice worked really well for me. I have not seen any of it since I treated it. The next day it was actually gone. What else? These mushrooms look absolutely incredible. They're tall, they're wide open, looking really well. As far as the torches go, it's less flow there and lower from the light, and they're doing, seems like the ends of them are a little bit more extended than usual. Everything looks really good. The only thing that I'm still upset and kind of disappointed about is my anemones. This one's moving around. I'm just going to let him see where he wants to go, where he thinks it's a good place for flow and light. And the bubble tip is really staying underneath the backside of that rock. All he has to do is literally just come right around and be right in good flow and light. But unfortunately, he's just not gone around. They look like they always look like they're hungry. I'm actually going to be feeding brine shrimp today. Let's see, yep, yesterday, Monday, I did the phytoplankton, the water change, and then the Joe's juice dose, which got rid of the Aptasia. Prior to that, I didn't feed the anemone since Sunday, and I feed every other day or every couple days, so Tuesday is pretty good. I've been doing every other, just because of the fact that right now I ran out of, I haven't added tiger pods in a little while, and I'm a little worried. Their bellies look a little small or caved in a little bit. And last time I actually put a little bit of brine shrimp and minus shrimp in front of them. They actually pecked at it, so hopefully they ate some of it, which it looked like they did. So that'll help out a lot for them to kind of hold them off until I can get the tiger pods either Thursday or Friday. So that's kind of a bummer in that aspect that they have to wait that long. Everything seems to be doing well. The flow and the lighting's perfect for most of them. I don't see any of them like bothered by where they're at or what's going on. This mushroom is getting really big. I didn't really think about that one, how big he's going to be. I didn't want really small coral or as many frags because I feel like you can't enjoy them as much. I feel like it takes so long for them to grow, and I understand some of the guys like that and enjoy that aspect of it, but just for me, I just want things a little more matured and a little bit more grown, and then see if they can grow from there. Candies has a lot of heads on it. That's looking good. The only thing I did not see today is the emerald crab. He just hides so well amongst the rocks that sometimes I have a really hard time finding him. Typically he's by either an anemone or he's on somewhere on the rock side looking for food. Don't know if I can find him real quick. See him right now. Could be pretty much anywhere. Hi, Scooter. All the hermit crabs got much bigger shells, as you can tell. Seems like everything's doing really well. Another thing that I also noticed is before this Scooter blending right here, Scooter didn't really get on the rocks and pick for tiger pods and food until he saw the mandarin do it, and then he kind of started climbing on the rocks. So now I thought that was pretty cool. They swim literally right by each other, and none of them try to snip at each other. They're all pretty friendly. The water change went well. There's still a couple spots here and there, a little bit of algae. Most of it I should be able to get with this magnet. I've just been kind of touching it up whenever I get a chance to actually do it. I've been pretty busy. Fortunately for me, it actually snowed some today in Cincinnati. It was in the beginning. It was a light dusting, then it kind of froze over, caused a few problems, and then it started snowing again during the day. And now it pretty much stopped, but it's got a light dusting across grass and everything. Everything's wet, so we decided not to pave today. So we just did some prep work. So it gave me a chance to get off early. So that's pretty much it, really. As far as products go, Joe's Juice is definitely a thumbs up. I honestly think it exceeded expectations, and it did not take as much as I thought it would. I literally covered it as much as I could, the anemone. Covered it as much as I could. It did not even take a millimeter. It says 100 doses, and I believe it, probably maybe more, 100 plus. And it didn't hurt, didn't seem to agitate or hurt anything else in the tank. It pretty much disappeared. The Joe's Juice did. Pretty much it disappeared. So you see a little bit of it in certain spots, but most of it just flat out disappeared. So that's always good. Clownfish and the damsel always fight each other. I think he's the reason, the damsel's the reason that's causing problems for the two clownfish. They were inseparable from week, I'd say about 2.5, 3 till a couple weeks ago. Seems like every time the damsel beats up on the big one gets angry and beats up on the little one. So I don't know if it's a chain reaction or a way their dominance is being tested or what it is, but it really upsets them and they fight, and I don't like that. I didn't realize how territorial and how aggressive a damsel can be. They haven't picked on any of the blennies or the mandarin. The only issue I had besides that is to be careful with any fish. What had happened is my bandit shrimp grabbed my my scooter blenny, the small dragonette I have. It grabbed it, and it started to back up the rocks with it. When I saw it, I immediately grabbed my grabber, and I tried to grab the bandit and get him scared to drop him. I guess as soon as he seen the claw grab him, he immediately dropped him, backed up, and hid underneath the rocks, and hasn't bothered him since. I guess he realizes that he can't do that, or if he does that, then my claw's going to grab him. So far that's kept him away from him. He hasn't tried since. I try my best to make sure that he eats. There's always, I tend to feed a little heavy-handed. So typically there's leftover Spectrum pellets, sometimes on the gravel, sometimes on the rock. So most of the time he goes around picking it and cleaning it, which he does a good job of. But he's getting pretty large, to be honest with you. A little bit. He's already molted once, so he already gained his size. He's already gotten bigger. I think it is a male because it has the blue. I don't know if it has the purple. It has to have like blue and purple or something like that. I forget the color combination it needs to be a female. I'm pretty sure it's a female. You can get them in paired, but I don't want 2 of them in here. One's enough, honestly. To be honest with you, the only reason I haven't considered either trading him or just donating him or getting rid of him to a fish store is how well he cleans. He literally gets his little arms in every nook and cranny, picks algae, leftover food, shrimp, just anything that's left over, he cleans it really well. The turbo shrimps do good. The turbo snails do good on the some algae on rocks, not so great on glass, mainly on rocks. Obviously the hermits pick up the leftover foods as well. They all must be doing well because every one of them got a bigger shell. It seems to be growing, so they needed a bigger shell. They all got bigger shells, which is great. I'm happy about that. He actually moved from that rock right here to the right to this one right here. It's not a bad place where he's at. He seems like he's getting flow as long as he's getting enough light there. Not sure how well he could see that. Let's see. I'm going to look back in a shot. Yeah, you can see the anemone right there. So pretty much the bubble tip, hopefully he moves on his own. I don't want to keep messing with him. I'm sure it upsets him and stresses him out, and he kind of hides. I don't want that. I want him to come out on his own and kind of get the light. Where he's at, he's kind of getting light. I make sure I still feed him no matter where he's at. So the food isn't so much the issue as is the light. You know, anemones have inside their skin, they have a layer that has something, I forget what that's called, but it uses photosynthesis to feed that part of the anemone or take care of that part of the anemone. So they do need light. They need good light. It has been said before in one of my comments that this is empowerment of lights. I've done the research on these. These are pretty powerful lights. I wouldn't say they're the best or the most recommended. I think it's enough, but he did look bleached, and I think that was partially due to him being kind of in a cove or a little cave, and he was kind of getting shielded from a lot of light. A lot of him was not getting light, only part of him was. So that might have caused him to bleach a little bit. You know, I love the suggestions. You know, especially like moving the torches lower down and less flow and a little bit less light. They're extending already longer. The mushrooms look better. I'm not sure exactly where that rock's going to stay at. I have it up here for now, but I might change it. I just have it up there for a little while until I figure out what I want to do with it. If I want to make an island over in that corner, this corner, or some kind of structure coming off that, like a little island, I don't know yet. I thought about fragging part of the green star polyp and putting some of it on one of those rocks and then kind of making a little lower island or something. We'll see how it goes. There's quite a few options with reefing. There's so much you can do. You know, some of this stuff is really, really hard to get off. Honestly, when I did the water change, I thought I scraped all of it. Come to find out, there's always more. So, you know, if you can spend a little time like so, just hit it with a magnet. It just makes it look that much better. You know, you want to basically get rid of all this. It's a little bit of light green there and a little bit of green here. It isn't terrible. I'm happy that I got rid of most of the hair algae, if not all of it, on the gravel. That was my biggest pet peeve. I need to add an attachment to try to get most of the gravel. I'll only kind of gravel vacuum some of it, and you can see some of the stuff still there. You know, I'm going to work to be more efficient with the cleaning. I don't want just the water being changed. I want to remove a lot of this waste and a lot of the algae and stuff that doesn't need to be in there. The filter's been doing really well. The protein skimmer skims well as well. I got it tuned. It works really well. You know, the reason why I got this little feeder right here, this little tray feeder, is basically it keeps so much of the food from getting into the, I guess, kind of like a skimmer style. And it, you know, needed a filter, so all that food goes onto the filter, it can rot, and then all that bad nutrients gets right back into the water, it rots. So you don't want that. As far as the levels go and testing, I think today I'm predominantly going to be testing mainly that alkalinity, the magnesium, calcium, phosphates. I know I just changed the water. Ammonia is probably 0. The nitrate's probably close to 0, below 5 or 10. So definitely nothing I would worry about, at least for another 6-7 days. Honestly, I could probably go a little bit longer on my water changes to 2 weeks. But I think it's just so much better doing it once a week. Especially for some reason, I was having a little bit of issue with keeping my calcium level up. Magnesium was a little bit down. Alkalinity wasn't down much. It was only like a 7 or 8. But it was just the calcium was, you know, between 280 and like 340. You know, it stayed mostly up lower 430s, lower 300s. But that's not good. You want it at 420, 410, somewhere around there. So I've been dosing. I've slowly been increasing the dosage. Kind of see how much the tank absorbs or consumes, however you want to say that. So really, I don't have that many hard stony corals. Duncan's are obviously hard stony corals. My Lobo, and then my candies. So I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 decent sized hard stony corals. Your invertebrates will consume a little bit of calcium. They'll consume iodine. So you just gotta kind of watch it. One of the reasons why I actually purchased the Reef crystal bag of salt instead of the regular salt is it's actually formulated and designed for reefs. So it has more calcium, more minerals, more metals, everything you need in there, like alkalinity, magnesium. So it's just better for your reef. What else? I do really like this rock a lot, the way it's with all the holes and cavities. It's actually perfect having this many places for my tetrapods to hide. I'm hoping I did increase the amount of phytoplankton I've been putting into every other day. Hopefully they reproduce. Like I said, I still can't get a bottle for a little while, so what I'm probably going to end up doing is defrosting, getting a couple cubes out, making sure both of the dragonets eat. Go ahead and feed my anemones while I'm at it. So I think all in all, everything's been doing really good and really well. What else I could think of? What's been going on? Honestly, my salinity, I don't know if that's an issue. I don't have it that high. My gravity's typically from 123 to 120, from 1.024 to 1.025, and then my parts per million is from 32 to about 33, 34 at the highest. I know a lot of people like to have it at 35. Maybe my salinity is a little bit low. I don't know if that has an issue with the cause issue for the enemy or anything else. When I first got them, salinity was around that level, maybe a little bit lower, and they seem to be fine. The fish seem to be fine. Everyone seems to be okay. Honestly, you don't want that to fluctuate. Obviously, that and the temperature you want to keep really consistent. I know that, but I don't know why. For some reason, I like to keep it at 134, at 34 parts per million or so. So I don't know if necessarily if that's a bad thing. Let's see what else. I'm still considering buying the Refugium kit, not a Refugium style filtration for this, to where it splits the filtration in half. One side is all your mechanical filters, and then on the other side is an open area where you can put the algae you want, and then obviously a light on the back of there and all that. I'm not sure exactly when or how I'm going to do that. I've been kind of looking a little bit online. The Refugium itself is about $40 to $50, and then the other side, mechanical filtration, is another $30 or $40. So and then I get a $60, $50 light, and then I buy the tetrapods and everything. And granted, that is a little bit of money. The bottles of the tetrapods I buy are about $28 a piece. So far, I put 6 in. So technically, if you do the math, I could save money with the Refugium up and running properly and producing tetrapods for me. It'll be a little bit. It should work. I understand the pump has to basically suck them, or I guess you could technically put a tetrabase or something in or draw them up, and then add them to the tank, or you can just basically let them get sucked up by the filtration system and blown out. A lot of them could die, but I guess they're going to get eaten anyways. So I'm going to add one more bottle and then continue my new schedule of the phytoplankton, see if they reproduce. A lot of folks say you can take the light and shine it when all your lighting's off at night, and you can kind of see the little bugs, I guess. I haven't seen them. I don't know if there's just a low amount of them, or if I'm not looking close enough, or what it may be, but I have not honestly seen them, so that's not good. That's why I bought as many as I did, just to make sure that it kept a steady number in there. Some folks has even said, even with steady numbers, dragonets are really, really hard to keep in captivity. So I'm just hoping they kind of switch over to frozen foods. I'm hoping, I've seen them eat a little bit of frozen foods. I'm hoping they eat enough of that to at least hold them off if I do get the trigger pods. There's just a lot going on with that. Just thinking about how to solve that issue, what I can do to improve it. I'm thinking about some corals maybe being on this side, something that are on rocks. Any suggestions or anything like that? I have been going to Worldwide Corals and a couple other sites to see what corals they have, and they have a ton of corals. It really sucks with that Indonesia ban about not letting corals be harvested and brought over to the United States. That's really hurting everything. I don't know what the status is currently. I heard this a little while back. I have nothing against Australia, but their corals are really expensive. I was told that a local fish store, Wet Pets, right down the street from me, said you can get the corals you want, but they're just so expensive, being from Australia, that no one around here is going to probably buy them, which is probably a true statement. So that's unfortunate. I know a lot of hobbyists around here might appropriate and have frags and might sell them or trade. That'd be awesome. If you are a local in Kentucky, Ohio, or Indiana within reasonable distance of Cincinnati, if you have Tigger pods or frags or something like that for sale, it doesn't hurt to shoot me a comment, maybe a link or something to where I can see what you have, or pictures or something like that. That'd be cool. If you want to do a video, that'd be great. Post it on YouTube. That way someone else could see it as well. So all in all, still no deaths. Everyone's healthy. One suicidal snail. I still can't get over that. I don't know how he got it. I guess he went through that little hole in the back where the wires come out of it and then run down and go to and hear the stand. So I guess he went through that hole, which is unfortunate, but he died. So I've only had one death by suicide. I'm assuming the horseshoe is still okay and doing well because I have not seen him. I did see him. He did molt one time, and I saw his empty, malted shell or whatever laying over here. And at first I thought it was him dead. I was bummed out, but I realized that he was not in there. It was just a clear shell. Same thing basically the banded shrimp did. At first glance, when she looked, she honestly thought he multiplied. Because it looked exactly like him, even the claws, everything. I mean, it looked like an entire banded shrimp. So, and his mushrooms look so good. I'm going to move this over here so I could show you guys exactly how good these mushrooms look. How tall they are and how good they look. There's their height. And the other day, I don't know if you've seen my other video, but they looked smushed and just miserable. Because I moved them, they were not happy. I'll give you a close-up of everything real quick. That mushroom is just doing beautifully. Here's the Lobo, long brain coral, stony coral. There she is. I noticed they have little mouths. I'm gonna start feeding. I didn't know. I know you can feed them coral roids and photoplankton, but they'll eat shrimp. He will eat shrimp and really certain kind of pellet. I forget what it was called. So I'm gonna look into that. But I'm gonna try feeding him some shrimp. I might do a video on that. And then obviously I'm gonna feed this guy right here. He seems to be happy where he's at right there. He's getting plenty of flow. Seems like he's getting light where he's at. As far as the green star polyps, they look good. That one spot up there to the top, that was just where it was a hole there before, where it was damaged, or I don't know why the hole was there, but that was like that when I purchased it. It's actually, where the hole was much bigger, it's actually starting to fill in, which is a good sign. You can see it moving. It isn't completely still. You can see it kind of moving. So it's getting some flow to it. I don't want crazy amounts of flow on it. It is nice when it ripples, though, or, moves. As far as this little leather right here, it looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad at all. And then the candies right there. That looks really well. Look how big those heads are. And how many there are. Remember the other day I did a video how small those heads were at the bottom? They're just more and more popping up every day all the way around. Even at the top, the sides. So I just wanted to show you that. That's crazy. Now the torches. I think these are torches. I was told they were torches and I purchased them. They're starting to extend more and more every day. I only moved them here for a couple days now. Actually, I did the water change Monday and I moved them there. I think it was Monday or... Geez, I'm having a brain fart. I might have moved them this weekend, but either way, it's only been a few days. And the tentacles are already getting longer. So that's great. I'm really happy about that. They look good. That was one head when he sold it to me. And I split it because it went all the way down to the bottom. Only connected by that much at the bottom. I went ahead and split it. I thought it'd be cooler. There's my turbo snail. And then here's another leather tree style. He's looking really good. Honestly, he was facing the wrong way and he was literally hanging so far over that rock. Just did not look good at all. Now he's standing up on his own. Really good. All the branches are turning around and starting to face upward, all standing up, so that's good. I was going to move him, but now I'm just going to let him be. He's settled in. The good old bubble tip anemone. Let's get a shot of that. I'm trying to get a good shot of him. Hard to see. He's right there. He's not looking too good, honestly. Not happy about that at all. Let me show you what this looks like when you open it up. There's the little feeder box. Now what's cool about this, if you set this up right and water doesn't flow over it, it was a lot steadier the other day. You could kind of cheat and kind of use this as a window, I guess. No, it still ripples a little bit. I think it's getting over it. Let me adjust it a little bit. Hold on, I almost got it completely steady. Hold on. No, water's going over it. Hold on, let me turn it a little bit this way. You can adjust it. That's the cool part about it. So you kind of adjust it to where it'll fight back on that ripple so it won't go over it. Hold on, just a little bit more this way. It's really a pain in the butt to adjust this. There we go. So it's kind of like one of those little windows where you could look down. So I mean, that's a lot of rippling right there. It's good for gas exchanges and other means, but there's the top view. Protein skimmer is doing its thing. There's a little bit of food, you know, from prior. I didn't want to rub that too hard or clean it too hard to where it frays. See how it kind of frays up when you try to rub it and clean it. I try to clean that at least every 2 or 3 days to make sure there's no food or nothing on there. My Pure Chem, what is that? Carbon is probably on its end due to having such major algae problems. It's probably only going to be good for about a month or so, unfortunately. You know, that's $13-14 right there for a medium-sized one. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to change that out. But that's pretty much all the news. I tried to straighten it up a little bit because it was kind of thrown in there before. There's just so much stuff here. You know, love the switches. That is the best thing you can do. There's a store called Micro Center locally by me. I asked someone, they said they didn't have it. I looked a little bit harder and I found it. It's only like $10. Literally $10 for that. Has so many switches. I actually have one more switch available, which I don't know when I'm gonna. That could be used for a Refugium light. So there we go. If I wanted to do that, or add another smaller power head, or get rid of that 528 and get like two, 250s or 300s, or 250s would be perfect. Two of them, either side. I thought about doing that, getting like this micro ones. So that's a medium size, not medium, but still small, but not micro. That's 528 gallons per hour. So, you get like two 250s or 300s, put one there, and then just kind of have them, you can have them clash or flow, whichever way you want to do it. There's old Lenny. Scoot, scoot. So, that's pretty much it, you guys. I just kind of try to show you up close, of everything, how it looks. I really like this rock a lot. He has a lot of these rocks like this, and they are full of good natural bacteria. What he does is he has a big tank. They're filled with that rock, no light on it, and it's filtrating, basically filtering the entire aquarium, all his tanks and everything. So it's filtering everything. At first I saw all his fish and all his corals. They all look clean. There was a little bit of bubble algae, but it wasn't nothing terrible. I didn't see any pests. I actually got the Aptasia from this rock right here, which came from a different fish store. Not to say anything bad about it, but I did see some Aptasia there, so I'm almost 100% positive it came from there. That was the only piece I did not dip, and I should have dipped it. All my hard stony corals I dipped. Like the candy was the only one I didn't dip. I dipped the torches, and I dipped the Lobo. I'm gonna start dipping every single coral I get from now on, just so I don't get Aptasia again or anything else. I'm looking at different ways to dip. I don't think I'm gonna do iodine anymore. I'm probably gonna do that restore, or I forget what it's called, restore or revive. Sorry, revive dip. I'm probably going to use that. And then that's pretty much it. So I need to let some shrimp thaw out. And I'm probably going to feed these guys. I was going to do a video, but we'll see how it goes. I'll do a little touch up on the glass and should have it looking really good for you guys. And then just keep a lookout for another video. I got upcoming stuff, gear. I'm still looking for the very last fish I'm going to add. Probably won't add any more than that. That's kind of pushing it, but I do weekly water changes, so that should be no issue. It's going to be a small fish anyways, not aggressive. Probably a box fish or something kind of cool and unique like that. So I'll just patiently wait for the last one and just see something that I really want. So I'm not going to rush it. But that's pretty much it, you guys. Feel free to subscribe. Like this video, hopefully, if you enjoyed it. Share amongst yourselves, Don't be afraid to leave family-friendly comments below. And that's pretty much it. So I see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.